realizes that it was Darkonda who took her. Andros follows Darkonda to a villain planet that weirdly resembles an old west town, and he manages to get his hands on some key cards that used to belong to Zordon, as well as learning that his sister is alive. After an intense fight with Darkonda, the Rangers head out to one of Jupiter's moons based on the information on the keycards, discovering a new set of Zords, the Mega Voyager. Zordon had apparently hidden them there in case of an emergency, like when the Rangers broke the Thunder Zords, or when the command center got blown up, or when Eltar was under attack. Anyway, they're up to 3 Megazords now. Darkonda ends up destroyed at the end of the encounter, but we soon learn that Darkonda actually has extra lives. No, seriously, he has extra lives, so we've yet to see if he has a saved game he can load. Anyway, since it was believed that space would be the last season, there was some more cleanup to be done for the previous season. Specifically, Stormblaster and Lightning Cruiser, who had been taken by Divatox at the end of Turbo. The cars have been enslaved, basically being used by Piranhatrons to haul cargo across a desert planet. Stormblaster manages to escape and heads off to Earth. Divatox asks Astronema to let her know if she sees it, but of course Astronema plans to take the car for herself. The Rangers try to defend it, but are captured. With no other place to go, Stormblaster goes to Justin for help. Justin's really good here as we see him worrying about the Rangers, obviously not able to keep in touch because, well, they've been in space and all.
I wish my friends are okay.
Stormblaster brings him to the others and reveals a spare morpher for his turbo powers. Admittedly, no idea where the power for the morpher comes from, since the Rangers lost their powers when Eltar was conquered, but if I had to guess, it's probably tied directly into Stormblaster's power. Either that or the power loss for the turbo powers was only temporary and the Rangers just didn't know. The point is, as the episode is titled, it's True Blue to the rescue as Justin comes to the aid of the others. After destroying the monster, the Rangers head off to rescue Lightning Cruiser and succeed. However, we never see them aiding the group anymore like they did before, so we never learn their ultimate fate. My guess is that they joined up with Justin to defend the Earth in whatever city he ended up moving to at the end of Turbo. We never see Justin lose his morpher or anything, so we can probably assume he still has it at the end of the episode. The end with him saying goodbye really highlights the better writing of this season. Sure, I admit Justin could be grating sometimes, but he was still one of the team and they all cared about each other.
I think about you guys a lot. I wonder if you're okay. If you ever need me again, I'm always here.
Two Blue Rangers working together might not have worked out, it turns out there is a 6th Ranger that none of them knew about. After the Rangers are chased off a planet by some Jawas, the Rangers discover a hidden chamber in the engine room with a Ranger in cryogenic suspension and being monitored by medical equipment. Andros reveals that it's Zane, the Silver Ranger. He and Zane used to be a team, until the day Dark Spectre's forces attacked KO-35 and wrecked it. During the fight, Zane destroyed a monster, but took the full force of its explosion. Zane was alive, but severely injured. Andros put him in the cryogenic tube with the hope that the unit would heal him over time. However, there's no guarantee that it'll work or how long the process would take. As a result, Zane has been in the tube for 2 years. The incident with Zane helps explain why Andros preferred to work alone and didn't want to have the others join him. He didn't want anyone else to get hurt, and it was just safer to work alone. While he doesn't blame himself for the incident, he owed his friend for saving his life, possibly at the cost of his own. Ashley asks him why he never told them, but he doesn't answer. My guess would be that he didn't want them to know firsthand that sometimes a Ranger doesn't survive the harsher aspects of the superhero life. After all, Zane has been in the tube for 2 years now with no guarantee that his condition is improving, so he might as well be dead anyway. And it's entirely possible that it could happen to the rest of them. Damage to the megaship forces it to crash and the Jawas attack again. The Jawas do more external damage to the ship, which naturally causes the healing chamber where Zane is stored to malfunction. He flatlines, but the jolt wakes him up. Zane comes out and the team unites to destroy a monster. Zane has his own special weapon, the Super Silverizer. It's a gun that becomes a sword, which of course makes it awesome. Zane himself, personality-wise, is kind of a smug bastard, but loyal and friendly. However, we quickly learn something's wrong with him. He keeps demorphing when he doesn't want to. Alpha examines him and discovers that while he was in the morph state in the cryochamber, his morphing power was slowly leaking, like a parked car that's still running. He needs a concentrated burst of electrical energy right into his body, so he heads for a lightning storm and holds up his morpher. This is the sort of thing that usually results in a Darwin Award, but instead it fully revitalizes his powers. Following that, Zane rescues Astronema when one of her monsters starts attacking her. This builds towards the idea of the two getting into a romance, but sadly nothing really comes from it, because Zane has to miss their date to stop a monster. In the preceding episode, though, Astronema still seems to be pining for him. However, the real thing to note is that Astronema ditches her black leather for a few brief minutes. Now isn't that interesting? Zane briefly leaves the team for a few episodes when the Rangers, while tracking an energy source that may be Zordon, discovers a force of rebels from KO-35. Zane decides to stay to help the rebels against Dark Spectre, but says he'll return when they need him. Following this, there was one more team-up with a former Ranger. During a fight with a monster, Carlos accidentally hits Cassie with his weapon, severely injuring her arm. Carlos, worried about the possibility of hurting her or one of the others again, keeps second-guessing himself and considers leaving the team. He engages the monster again single-handedly, but he's almost defeated if not for someone stepping in to save him at the last minute.
Adam, the original Geo Green Ranger.
Adam? Need a hand? Thanks. Good to see you, man. Double the fun. It's great to see Adam in action again, just wailing on the monster and forcing it to retreat. Adam offers to help Carlos do some training to help him hone his skills so he'll be less likely to make mistakes. After a training montage and an attempt at blind fighting, Carlos still is shaky and questioning himself. I can't do this. You're wasting your time. I'm no Power Ranger. Man, I can't do this guy. After Carlos sulks off, Adam and Alpha talk. Now, sometimes I still wish I was a Power Ranger. You think this thing still works?
Adam, you must never use this morpher. The power coins were destroyed, which means morphing could destroy you.
Don't worry, Alpha. It's just a thought.
No.
Quite an interesting thought, though, isn't it? Carlos decides to quit being the Black Ranger, but when the Quantrons attack him and Adam, Adam decides he needs to try using his morpher.
It's too big of a risk.
Adam, don't! It's morpher time!
Don't do it.
Oh yeah!
It succeeds, but clearly is not working at full power as his powers keep cutting out and returning. Carlos regains his confidence and helps the Rangers defeat the monster. It should be noted that despite Alpha's warning about the power coins being destroyed, Adam doesn't invoke the ninja powers. Both the power coin and the phrase he calls out are for the original Mastodon coin. Which makes sense. The ninja coins were indeed destroyed. However, the power surge that destroyed the Zords and purportedly destroyed their original powers was, well, just that, a power surge. I can see that it would damage their morphers and the coins, as we see with all the scarring and cracks on Adam's morpher, but sometimes even broken electronics can still partially function. The fact that he can still morph also suggests that the powers can be repaired. It would make sense that Zordon couldn't repair them since, as we learned, he didn't create the coins, but discovered them. And given the fact that the Space Rangers were able to learn the advanced technology and technobabble of the megaship, it's not so far out that the Rangers could study the technology behind the morphers and the coins and fully repair them at some point. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a leap, but I think it's the best explanation for what we're going to see in some future episodes. In any case, Always a Chance is a great episode with some nice introspection and character development for Carlos, plus it's just great to see Adam in the old Mighty Morphin suit. The story continues as Andros takes on Darkonda, trying to get more information on his sister. We see yet another flashback to Caron's kidnapping, which can probably be counted as its own morphing sequence at this point, considering how often they've shown it. We also learn Astronema's backstory, that she was left on Ecliptor's doorstep and he raised her since she was a child. Ecliptor claims that her family was destroyed by the Power Rangers. After learning that, if you have 2 functioning brain cells, you should have probably figured it out. Astronema is Corone, raised to be evil. Upon discovering Astronema's pendant contains the pictures of them as children, the two discover the truth about each other. Astronema at first doesn't believe it, but the more she thinks about it, the more it makes sense. Ecliptor admits the truth to her, but she says it doesn't matter, that she's still evil to the core. We get a truly epic fight between Darkonda and Ecliptor that takes up the first several minutes of an episode. Sure, Darkonda survives, save for another lost life, but Ecliptor really puts up a great fight. Astronema is told by Dark Spectre to destroy Andros to prove her loyalty. She tells Andros that she knows where Zordon is and she's brought to the megaship. The Rangers, not being totally rock stupid, insist that she be restrained. It's understandable. Tommy and Kat in the past were welcomed with open arms, but they were both under mind control. Astronema, on the other hand, has been raised to be totally evil, and the evidence they have isn't enough to fully trust her yet. However, she gives them Zordon's location, and the Rangers speed off to finally find him. There are some really good bits here, like Astronema asking about her and Andros' parents. It's short and lasts just enough to provide character development, nor is it some cheesy plot point for her turning good at the end. Astronema makes Dark Spectre believe that she's captured the Rangers, and he lowers the force field around the planet. A squad of Velocifighters escort the megaship, but because the Rangers are uncertain of where they're leading the ship, they change course. An atmospheric storm, however, causes the megaship to be struck by lightning and then crash on the planet's surface. When Andros checks on Astronema, he finds her gone and the cargo bay door is open. The Rangers conclude that she was leading them into a trap. Because of the possibility that Zordon is on the planet, the Rangers go searching through the forest. During a battle, Astronema leads Andros away into Zordon.
Andros, it's just that after all this time, I can't believe that you're still such a fool.
You know, I always suspected Zordon was an asshole, but I never got confirmation until now. Nah, I'm kidding, it's Dark Spectre. Zordon isn't on the planet. Astronema claims it was all a trap, but Dark Spectre insists on having her destroy them. However, she can't go through with it and saves them, Ecliptor coming to help her as well, despite being injured. Yeah, Ecliptor is evil, but he still loves Astronema as a father. They try to take him with them, but Ecliptor is overrun and insists that they get her out of there. Astronema's pretty badass here, too, smacking around Darkonda for good measure and blasting some Piranatrons. A pity she doesn't keep the staff later, it's really useful. Darkonda is given temporary command of the Dark Fortress, with Dark Spectre saying that Astronema will return and her loyalty will never stray again. Dark Spectre puts his planet in motion the next episode, launching a huge asteroid at Earth. Astronema says she can sneak aboard the Dark Fortress and stop the asteroid, but she's stopped by Ecliptor, who's been given cybernetic enhancements and reprogrammed to be totally loyal to Dark Spectre. With no other options left, the Rangers use the 3 Megazords to try to push the asteroid out of the path of Earth. However, the 3 Megazords just aren't enough at first. Salvation comes with Zane, who arrives with his own Zord called the Mega Winger. After pushing the asteroid away, Andros and Zane travel to the Dark Fortress to try to rescue Astronema, but when they discover her, she's been given cybernetic implants as well.
What did they do to you?
I am Locutus, a Borg.
Astronema's even more cold and dark than before, usually displaying no emotion save for a frightening glare at anything she sees. Analysis by Deca indicates that Corone is still inside of her, but the computer programming is controlling her actions, and there's no way to get through to her in her present state.
So guys, that was my reaction to the first part of Linkaras' History of Power Rangers in Space video. Power Rangers in Space is personally my favorite Power Ranger show. So yeah, so please be sure to comment down below, subscribe, hit the like button, press the notification bell to be notified about future videos, and I will see you all next time. Bye.